So, TDX has finally released one of, if not the biggest and most anticipated Roblox game of the year. It's finally here, made by John Roblox and his team. I believe it's extremely remarkable the amount of time and effort that has went into this one project. And I have to say, it is awesome. DDX is undoubtedly one of the coolest tower defense games out there. There are a lot of things contributing to this fact, such as such as alright, listen here. The funny music bit is over, okay? Can you calm down? Like the super duper epic montage or whatever you want to call it is over. We've been through it, okay? Good. As I was saying, TDX is simply built differently. Was I saying that? Whatever. TDX ticks off pretty much everything a good game has. What's not to like about this game? It's got the charm, it's got the visuals, it's even got a literal warship. No, ain't that? As expected, it quickly blew up in player numbers shortly after it was released to the public. It was a definite success, but you just have to ask yourself this. How did TDX get so popular so fast that it already had over 1,000 videos made on it in 1 week? Well, the answer is quite obvious, right? Sean Roblox is a very popular YouTuber, and that does contribute a lot to the game's popularity. And, well, that's kind of right, seeing as the game is very high quality too. But as we all know, visually pleasing graphics don't make a game. What makes a game a solid game is the graphics and the game. You could definitely argue that TDX is just like other tower games, and that it's only slightly different, but I like the difference. There's something about TDX that just feels unique. It doesn't quite feel like the old tower defense game. The thing that gives TDX is and the thing that makes it stand out from other tower defense games is what I'm here to discuss today. This is why I think TDX is an outlier among TD games. Okay, but all jokes aside, I will tell you why it is so good. It may come as a surprise to many of you, but the main reason TDX is so much more different is because of the progression. Actually, the progression is not what makes TDX stand out. Alright, well, I understand your confusion. TDX is a very high quality game. I mean, just look at the game. It's beautiful. The towers even have little winning animations. Quite a neat detail considering that when you win other tower defense games, the towers just sit still. But let's not get sidetracked here. As great as TDX is graphic-wise, the quality of the progression is just as good. To prove my point, I'll show you an example. Take a new player and put them in TDS for them to play, while not knowing anything about the game whatsoever. No guides, no strategies, nothing. They load into the game and go to play a match. Now, before this new player plays their first match, let's take a look at what he starts the game out with. The starter towers, so to speak. In TDS, you get 2 free towers when you first start out the game, Scout and Sniper. And honestly, they're not that good. They're really not that good, especially compared to TDX's starter tower, but we'll get to that later. So, the newbie loads into the match with the 2 starter towers, and they're greeted by the 3 main difficulties. Now, realistically, the newbie should choose normal mode, aka the easiest mode, because it's clearly easier than the difficulties above it, right? Well, no! Normal's actually harder than the mode is supposed to be harder from. This is because of very strong enemies arriving much earlier because of the lower amount of waves. Because of this, you get a lot less money, thus a lot less firepower to take down these quite powerful enemies. Now, this wouldn't usually be that bad, but here's the thing. These powerful enemies actually appear way later in Molten than they do in normal. Slow boss especially. Like, what the hell were they thinking, putting him in wave 16, while in Molten, the slow boss appears at wave 22. Much better time to prepare than normal mode. Oh, I also forgot to mention, despite normal mode being way more challenging than Molten, you get less than half of the coins that you usually get. But that is just a scam. And the starter towers cannot even beat the easiest mode by themselves. You need a couple of good towers to even get close to beating it. Take for example, the farm, the miniature towers like that. Now you can have a chance with a relatively cheap tower like Ace Pilot, but the chances are you won't. I have a question for you. How much do you think the farm costs? Take a guess. I'll give you 5 seconds. Well, if you guess anywhere between 1500 to 500, you're wrong. It actually costs 2,000, which is 4 Molten wins, and we've already established that the newbie cannot even beat normal mode. So, what are we getting at here? What happens is, the newbie gets frustrated with not being able to win, leaves, and never touches TDS ever again. Now, there are some exceptions to this. Some newbies might want to learn the game and go through the grind that is TDS. You might start even enjoying the game. But we're going off of the general here. Most players do not like the grind, and most of them quit, and rightfully so. But it's not all bad. Once you get good towers, you will start having fun, but progression is quite flawed. Now, let's take a look at the beginning of TDX. The newbie joins the game, and they can immediately see that they are given the Ranger tower, the free tower of this game. Honestly, a very solid tower overall, and reliable, unlike, you know. They load into a match, and they're presented with 4 difficulties to choose from. They obviously choose easy mode, because, well, it's probably the easiest out of the 4. Now, as the newbie keeps playing through the match, they're quick to realize that they're actually not struggling at all compared to TDS, because Ranger can actually hold up pretty well against the later waves, making it usable later as well. Leaving continues to do good until the last wave of the difficulty, featuring the infamous Plague Doctor, who has 40k HP. You would think you would lose automatically at this point, but you'd be very wrong. Helper of this game, Advisor, tells you this, and he's not wrong. You can beat easy mode with just Ranger if you know your stuff. I know, many people have. This is massive, because unlike in most tower defense games, you cannot beat the easy mode while first starting out. And this differentiates TDX by a lot and makes its progression a lot funner, unless it was slog to go through, honestly. But then you gotta ask yourself, how much cash does easy mode even give? Well, it gives you 200 cash, and that might not sound like a lot, but the thing is, easy mode lasts about 15 minutes. Now, you won't be asking yourself, 400 cash a game is not going to be enough to unlock all the towers. Well, guess what? TDX has achievements, specifically for this reason. You can complete various achievements to earn a lot more extra cash. There's an achievement for basically everything. Beating a certain difficulty, killing X amount of enemies, winning X amount of times, playing for an X amount of hours, you name it. My favorite achievement has got to be playing the game for an entire year. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. On top of achievements, you're also given many codes to help you in unlocking more towers. Here are some codes that you can redeem. Join Roblox, join Roblox 1, join Roblox 2, join Roblox 3, join Roblox 4. Yeah, all the codes are just join Roblox. All the codes are just basically the same. And they're also expired, so... Anyway, as you can see, TDX has a lot of ways for you to earn cash. Another quirk about cash in this game is that when you play a higher difficulty map, you earn more cash than you usually would. Say you're going for that one tower that you really want, you can either play easy maps on intermediate and earn 450 cash, or play a hard map to earn an extra 100. Overall, it's very balanced and fun to grind, despite the towers costing so much. Oh, right. Towers in this game are pretty expensive. most expensive tower costs about 13k. Come on, give us some slack. It's literally the strongest tower with over 1000 DPS. Aside from the tower cost and the map rewards, there's another way of progression that I like to touch on. The daily rewards. Now, I know a lot of games already have this and the rewards aren't that great, but I think it's quite a nice addition. I've been praising the progression of TDX this whole video, but that obviously does not mean it doesn't have any flaws. Because, you see, after a certain point of playing, the achievements do slow down, maybe you start getting bored of playing the same hard map over and over. These are quite common. Most of the achievements start to boil down to playing for a long time and killing many enemies. But hey, no game is without its flaws, and no game is perfect. In conclusion, TDX does this progression really well, and much differently than other tower defense games of its kind. You could also say that TDX is an outlier amongst tower defense games.